In this video, I'm going to do a step-by-step beginner tutorial on how to trade derivatives using the Bybit exchange. First, I'll show you how to deposit some crypto, or where to go if you need to buy crypto using fiat. Then I'll show you how to transfer your assets internally from your spot account into your derivatives account. From there, I'll get you familiar with the user interface, where I'll show you how to place some trades using limit orders and market orders, as well as how to set stop losses and take profits. All of that and more with some tips and tricks along the way. If this is your first time signing up on the Bybit exchange, feel free to sign up using my link in the pinned comment down below. At the time of recording, you can receive over $4,000 as a sign-up bonus if you sign up with my link. Perhaps even more by the time you're watching this video. You can use that money to place trades, and all the profits are yours to keep. I've also left timestamps for this video in the description down below, so feel free to skip ahead to a section that might be most relevant to you. If you appreciate this content, don't forget to like and hit subscribe. Now's a good time to pause the video, sign up, and I'll see you inside the exchange. Once you sign up and sign into Bybit, you'll need to either deposit some cryptocurrency from another exchange, or you can buy some cryptocurrency using fiat. If you're already familiar with this process, feel free to skip ahead a little bit in this tutorial, or use the timestamps down below to skip ahead to a section that might be most relevant for you. The first thing I'll show you how to do here is how to buy crypto using fiat. Come up to the navigation bar at the top left-hand side of the screen and hover over Buy Crypto. From this drop-down menu, we'll just go ahead and click on Express. And here's where you'll find the order form to buy crypto using fiat. Currently, there's a few different ways that you can do this on Bybit. One way is to attach a credit card to your Bybit account, or you can use one of their third-party payment providers. I personally don't use a credit card to buy cryptocurrency, but if this is the payment method that you'll be using, you'll first have to attach the credit card to your Bybit account. To do that, just click right here where it says Add Card. And on this page here, Bybit's going to let you know that your card issuer will be charged a small amount as a test deposit. It will be auto-refunded within 7 days after the verification is complete. The time it takes to receive the refund is dependent on your bank. So basically, Bybit's going to do a couple microtransactions with your credit card, and this is so that they can verify the card in order to attach it to your account. You'll have to type in your email, click on the terms and services, so by all means read those, and then click on Continue. On this page here, put in your credit card details and then click on Validate Card and Proceed. Once your card is verified, you can use that Express option, so I'll just go ahead and back to Express. Now that you've added your credit card, it's as easy as simply typing in the amount that you wish to spend on crypto. You can do something like that. Down here, Bybit will let you know what you'll be receiving, so you can currently see we're set to Tether. But if I give that a click, we can select a different cryptocurrency from this drop-down menu. Simply select the one that you want and then click on Buy. To use one of Bybit's third-party payment providers, you can simply click here where it says Credit Card. In this little pop-up window under Third Party, you'll see a few options down below: Google Pay, Interac eTransfer, just to name a couple. Simply click on the service that you wish to use. You can find additional payment options by simply closing this out, and you can click right down here where it says Purchase with Other Payment Options. And this is where you'll find another order form with 4 more third-party payment methods. If you're going to be using any of these services right here, you will have to sign up and go through the KYC process. Once you choose a service, you'll just simply type in up here how much you wish to spend on crypto. You can see right here that I have this currently set to Tether, but if you click on that, you also have options to buy Ethereum and BTC using these payment methods. Just to the right of the payment methods down below, you'll see payment details, which will give you a brief summary of your order. We can see the 150 right here and how much Tether I'll be receiving for that purchase. But notice if I come over here and click on MoonPay, you'll see that I'm actually receiving less if I was to use that service provider. So certainly choose a provider that's going to work best for you. Now that you've bought some cryptocurrency, you can find it in your Bybit wallet. To view all your wallets, just come up here to the top right-hand side of the screen and hover over Assets. And from this drop-down menu, just click on Assets Overview. On this page here, you're going to find a general overview of what's in your spot account, as well as your derivatives account. If you click on Spot, here's where you find all your individual spot wallets. If you click on Derivatives, here's where you'll find all your derivatives wallets. Now, I'll quickly cover how to deposit coins to Bybit from another exchange or wallet address, and how to transfer cryptocurrency between your spot accounts and your derivatives accounts. The deposit button for each cryptocurrency can be found over here on the right under Action. Simply choose the cryptocurrency that you wish to deposit and then click on its deposit button. For example, we can come down here to Bitcoin and I can click on deposit. Bybit will give us this little pop-up window here. Click on acknowledge. Here's where you'll find your QR code. So if you're sending coins in from your smartphone, you can scan your code. And just below that, you'll find your actual deposit address and you can just simply copy it. If you're still relatively new to cryptocurrency, make sure to read over these important notes. The big one is don't send cryptocurrency to the wrong address. As an example, you wouldn't want to send Bitcoin to an Ethereum address and you wouldn't want to send Ethereum to a Bitcoin address. If you do that, you will lose your coins forever. Just down below, you'll see that it says deposits auto channeled to, and this is currently set to spot. So if you wanted your coins to go to your spot account, you'd leave it as is. But if you want the coins to arrive into your derivatives account, you'd give that a click, select derivatives. Now all your deposits will go straight to your derivatives account. You can also transfer between your derivatives account and your spot account, and there's no fees to do that because it's all done internally through Bybit, and I'll quickly go over that. So let's go ahead and close this out. In order to trade crypto using leverage, so if you're going to be trading the futures or the perpetual swaps, you'll need to make sure that your funds are in the derivatives account. You can find the transfer button on the right-hand side under Action. Simply choose the currency that you wish to transfer and then click on its transfer button. For example, if I wanted to do some Tether, I'd come to Tether's transfer button and give that a click. Now Bybit's given us a little pop-up window here. Right now it's currently set to transfer from spot into derivatives. If I want to change that around, I can click on these arrows right here. Now I have this form set to transfer from derivatives into spot. Right here, just make sure it's set to the coin that you intended. And then down below, you can put in a custom amount or click on all. Your balance will be viewable right here. So for a demonstration, I'll do 100. Once you have that the way that you want it, you'd click on confirm. Now we've transferred 100 Tether out of the derivatives account and into the spot wallet. To find that, we'll just come back over here to spot and give that a click. And now we can see that my Tether has arrived in my spot wallet. If I want to get it back into the derivatives, I'd come over here, click on transfer, spot to derivatives. I'll just go ahead and click on all, confirm, success. You can see that my Tether has been transferred out and now it's back into my derivatives. Now that you have some funds in your derivatives account, you're ready to place some trades. To find the pairings, come up to the navigation bar and hover over derivatives. And here's where you're going to find all the different derivatives markets. At the time of recording, the most popular is the USDT Perpetuals. In order to trade any of these pairings, you're going to need Tether in your derivatives account. All profits and losses using these pairings will be settled in Tether. Below that, you'll find your inverse contracts. And in order to trade these pairings, you're going to need the underlying asset in your derivatives account. All profits and losses will be settled in that underlying asset. For example, if you were to trade BTC versus USD using the inverse perpetuals, you'll need Bitcoin in your derivatives account. And it's the same for Ethereum, you'd need Ethereum. Typically, I only trade inverse perpetuals if the market is generally bullish over the very long term. This leaves some exposure as the asset is generally increasing in value. During bearish conditions, such as what crypto's been going through for a while now, I use the USDT perpetuals. That way, when I take profits, whether I'm long or short, it's settled in Tether and it limits my exposure to the underlying asset. For this tutorial, I'll demonstrate using the USDT perpetuals. Simply come over to this drop-down menu and choose the pairing that you wish to trade. I'll demonstrate with BTC. And here's the user interface where all the trading happens. The first thing I'll point out is that the panels are customizable. You can grab onto the top of them. You can actually drag them and shuffle them around however you want. Down at the bottom right-hand side of each panel, you can grab onto the corner of it and you can also resize it. I personally like the look of this layout, so I'll just be leaving it like this for the duration of this tutorial. In the first panel here, we have the price action chart. And of course, the price action chart is showing us an asset's performance over a selected time frame. You can see at the top left-hand side here that I'm currently set to a daily chart. That means each one of these candlesticks is representing a day's worth of price action. You can easily toggle between time frames by simply clicking on the time frame that you wish to view. So if you want a 4-hour, you just give that a click. The first thing I would suggest with the chart is I would switch this over to the trading view chart. You'll notice at the top right hand side here that it's set to standard, but if you click right here where it says trading view, Now you're viewing a chart that's literally powered by TradingView, and this is going to give you access to plenty of drawing tools as well as to several basic indicators. Now I do just simply use TradingView. I'll drag it into frame like so. This is a paid version of TradingView, but you can use TradingView for free, and the free version's pretty darn good. So I'll leave a link for this in the description of the video as well as in the pinned comments down below. Feel free to take advantage of that and sign up for a free account on TradingView. You can find the drawing tools by coming down to the bottom left-hand side of the chart. You'll see a little blue arrow. If you give that a click, it'll open up, and here's where you find all your drawing tools. Beside each one of these little icons is a tiny little arrow. If you click on that, it'll open up and expand into another drop-down menu where you can find plenty of more drawing tools. If you want to add an indicator to the chart, simply click on Indicators. And as you can see, there's plenty of basic indicators that you can add. If you're looking for something specific, you can search for it in the search bar. So if we want a RSI, we just type that in. Click on Relative Strength Index. Now we've added the RSI to the bottom of the chart. If we want to get rid of it, we just simply click this little X on the right-hand side of the panel, and it's gone. Just to the right of the chart, we can find the order book. And the order book is showing us where market participants are interested in buying and selling the asset. These market participants are called market makers because they're placing their order onto the order book by using limit orders. On the top side of the order book, we can find what's known as the asks, and these are the price points that market makers are willing to sell at least for the time being. Down below that, you'll find what's called the bids, and these are the price points that market makers are willing to buy at least for the time being. In the price column of the order book, we can find the price points that market makers have set their orders at. In the quantity column here, we can see the quantity in BTC, and on the far right-hand side of the order book, we can see the total in BTC. If you were trading a different asset, all of this would be quoted in that asset. When a trader comes along and executes a market order, they'll be matched up with someone from the order book here, and then the trade will be viewable down here in the Recent Trades panel. The Recent Trades panel is showing us trades that are successfully executed in real time. As you can see, this panel is moving along pretty good right now, as price is volatile at the time of recording. If I bring this into a 15-minute chart, you'll see some big red sell candles coming in right now. And now we see the buyers fighting back. On the price column of the Recent Trades panel, we can see the price point that the trade was successfully executed at. And then in the middle column here, we can see the quantity of BTC being executed in real time. And at the top right-hand side of the screen is where you'll find your order panel. Here's where you can long and short an asset by using limit orders, market orders, as well as conditional orders. And I'll demonstrate some orders here shortly. Also inside the order panel, you'll be able to view your available balance right here. And if you come down just a little bit further, you'll find the equity of your account displayed here as well. And you'll also notice that you have a deposit button here if you need to deposit some more crypto. Beside that is an exchange button. So if you need to quickly swap one cryptocurrency into another, you can use that exchange feature. And beside that is your transfer button to transfer crypto between your spot account and your derivatives account. And just below that, you'll find the contract details, such as open interest for the asset. I will also direct your attention to the funding rate, which is located at the top of the screen, just above the chart. Currently, you can see that the funding rate is a 0.01%. And what this means is that longs are paying shorts the funding rate every 8 hours. Beside that, you can see a little countdown timer that's letting us know how close we are to a new funding period. If you ever see a negative funding rate, that means people who are holding short positions are paying the funding rate to those that are holding long positions every 8 hours. So it's always a good idea to pay attention to that funding rate. So let's head back up over here to the order panel. And the first thing we're going to want to do is adjust our leverage. You can see the leverage right at the top here. You see this green 5x, that represents the leverage for opening long positions. And the red 5x is the amount of leverage that will be applied when opening short positions. To adjust the leverage, just simply click right here where it says isolated. And then Bybit's going to give you a little pop-up window here where you can adjust the leverage for long positions as well as short positions. In my opinion, here's where a lot of traders just simply become gamblers and lose a lot of money. And that's simply by using way too much leverage. If you're new to trading, I would not mess with too much leverage whatsoever. To adjust the amount of leverage that you wish to use, you can just use these little slider bars. So you can see we're on long leverage here. If I want to drag that down to 3x, I would just do something like that. And it's the same for short. I could just drag it down to 3x like so. When you have your leverage set the way that you want it, you just simply click on confirm. Now, when we come back up to the order panel, we can see that we've changed the leverage for long positions to 3x and for short positions to 3x. Isolated margin mode is the amount of leverage applied to a specific position. Simply put, if I was to do an order by cost of 100 tether, my order value would be 300 tether because I'm set to 3x leverage. If my leverage was set to 5x, my order value would be 500 tether. The advantages to this is that it would free up the remainder of my capital to be deployed into other positions or for scaling in if I choose. On the downside, this can also maximize my losses or even get my entire position liquidated. Bybit uses a liquidation engine to prevent traders from going into debt, so you want to be very careful when using leverage. I typically don't go over 5x leverage, as I was saying before. And here's a quick note. If you click right here where it says order by cost, you're going to get a little pop-up window where you can toggle between order by cost in USDT and order by quantity in BTC. You'll notice that if I click on this one and then click confirm, you'll see that I've changed this around to BTC. Tether is my preference though, so I'm going to go ahead and just switch that back, confirm, and now you can see we've switched it back to Tether. Now that you have a general understanding of leverage, I'll show you how to place some orders. First up, we have the limit order. And limit orders will allow you to be more strategic by choosing a price point that you wish to long an asset or short an asset. You'll also pay a smaller fee for using a limit order. And this is because you're placing the order onto the order book for all to see. So in other words, you're providing liquidity to the order book. And typically, exchanges like to incentivize traders to provide liquidity to the book. More on fees later in this tutorial. The first step is to identify an area on the chart that you're interested in either longing or shorting. So let's come over here to the chart, and just for fun, I'm going to come over to the drawing tools and grab a horizontal. Let's go ahead and just stick a horizontal down here. Let's maybe put one on somewhere in this area right here. And then maybe we'll put another horizontal on the chart somewhere around this area here. Good enough for this demonstration. I'll just zoom in a bit by using the wheel on my mouse, and that's looking pretty good. Now let's imagine that you're viewing this chart through the lens of a bull. For the last several weeks, you can see that Bitcoin has been playing out a range between these two horizontals here. Just a couple days ago, Bitcoin has closed the candle body above the top side of that range. So perhaps you're thinking to yourself that the range is resolved, and the most likely outcome is that Bitcoin moves up to higher levels. But maybe it comes back down and tests the top side of that range before finding support and ultimately moving to a higher price level. So maybe you want to place a strategic buy order back down here on this horizontal line. If you come over to the y-axis of the chart, you can see that there's a price point correlated to that horizontal coming in at 22,745. So you'll want to come up here to your order panel and type that into order price. The next step is to choose the amount that you wish to put into that position. So you can do that right here on the order by cost box. So we could do 100 tether. Keep in mind that you'll be able to see your available balance just down below, so you know exactly what you're working with. Another way to select the amount is simply by using one of these options here. So if you were to click on 50%, that's going to allocate 50% of your available funds into the position. You can do 25%, 10%, and of course the custom amount. For this demonstration, I'll just do 100 tether. The next thing that I like to do is make sure that the post only box is checked. You'll see when I hover over it, it says the post only order will only be executed as a maker order. So this is going to make sure that you pay the smaller fee by using this order type versus paying the higher fee of using a market order. Once you have your order set up the way that you like it, you just simply come down here and click on open long. Then Bybit will give you this little pop-up window, and here's where you can confirm the details of your order before placing it on the book. You'll be able to view the order price that you intend to enter at. You'll be able to view the quantity and the underlying asset that you're longing. You'll see your order cost here. So in my case, it's 98 tether out of the 100. And that's because I'd pay a small fee if this order fills, and only if it fills. Below that, you'll see the order value. So in my case here, it's 295 tether. And that's because I have it set to isolated leverage of 3x. Most importantly, you'll be able to view your estimated liquidation price here. In my case, you can see that's 15,277. So if my order was to fill and then price action shot down to 15,277, I would lose the entire position and be liquidated. As a rule of thumb, I'm always managing my risk before price action ever reaches my liquidation levels. Either I'll do that with a stop loss if I'm going to be away from the computer, or I'll do it manually if I'm sitting at my battle station. In my opinion, it's very reckless to allow positions to become liquidated and unsustainable if you want to be a trader for the long term. So you always want to put proper risk management in place, and I'll show you how to set some stop losses shortly. If you made any boo-boos when setting up your order, you can just simply cancel it here and then go back to your order form and do it the way you intended. But if everything checks out, you just simply click on confirm. And now we've successfully submitted that order to the order book. You can see your active order down here on the active order tab. If we give that a click, here's where we can see the details of the order that we have resting on the order book. So now we need price action to come down, tag our entry level before the active order executes and becomes an open position. If at any point you'd like to cancel the order, you just come over here on the right hand side under action and click on cancel. And now we've canceled the order and removed it off the order book. You can also use limit orders to enter short positions. So I'll show you how to do that, but this time I'll show you how to add a stop loss as well as a take profit when placing the order. Let's head back up here to the chart, and this time let's imagine that we're viewing this through the lens of a bear. Sure, Bitcoin's looking to resolve a short-term range right here with this candle body closure above the top side of the short-term range. However, when we zoom out on this chart by using the wheel on our mouse, we can see that Bitcoin is still in a very clear downtrend here with a lot of sell pressure present. You can see that every single time it tries to rally and reverse course, that it puts a clearly defined pivot point on the market and then moves back down to lower levels. You can see even here in recent price action, Bitcoin tried to spike up not once but twice and then rejected for the next big move to the downside. So perhaps we're thinking to ourselves, you know, maybe this is just a bear market rally in progress. And yeah, maybe it does reach up to this horizontal line here, but perhaps we want to try entering a short position there, looking for the next big leg to the downside. Of course, on the y-axis of the chart, we can see the price point correlated to that horizontal coming in at 28,510. So we'll come over here to the order price and we'll type that in. 28,510 looks good. And then we want to choose the amount that we wish to go short with. So I'll just go ahead and stick to our 100 tether position size here. Now let's set a take profit as well as a stop loss. To do that, we're going to want to check this box right here that says sell short with TPSL. If we were going long, we'd be checking this box right here that says buy long with TPSL. So I'm going to go ahead and just check that box. In this box here, we're going to type in the price point that we're targeting. So maybe we're thinking that price action is going to come up, fill our order here at 28,510. And then maybe we want to target this horizontal here to take profit coming in at 22,745. So I'll go ahead and just type that in here, 22,745. You'll see right here that Bybit is estimating what our profit would be if the order fills and then reaches our target. And now we want to set a stop loss. And maybe we want to manage our risks somewhere up here above this wick right here. Perhaps we're thinking to ourselves, you know what, if price action keeps going and gets above that level, it's likely to continue to go and we want to get out of that short position before we get wrecked. So what you could do is you could actually mark that wick with a horizontal like this, and then you can come over to the y-axis of the chart. We can see that there's a price point correlated to that at 29,430. So maybe we want to go just slightly higher than that. So we'd come down here to the stop loss box and we would type in 29,000 and maybe we'll go 29,500. Then we can see that Bybit is estimating what our potential loss would be if the order filled and then the trade went against us. Once you have that set the way that you want it, you just simply click on Open Short. And you'll get your little pop-up window again here, but this time you'll be able to confirm your take profit level here, as well as your stop loss here. So if everything checks out, you just simply click on Confirm. And once again, you've placed that order successfully on the order book, and it'll be viewable down here under your Active Orders tab. If you want to cancel it, you just simply come over here to cancel under Action, give that a click, and it's gone. So the benefit of using limit orders is that you will pay less in fees to use these order types, but with a little bit of patience, you can often get better entries and exits, which are going to maximize your profits. A potential downside to limit orders is maybe price action doesn't reach our desired entry point. Maybe it just continues to pump, running away without us, and our order never fills. Or maybe price action does get down to our entry level and then keeps going to the downside, putting us at a loss. This is why having proper risk management in place is so important. You want to make sure that you have proper risk management, patience, as well as consistency. Alongside a good trading strategy, these three ingredients will produce successful traders over time. Next up, we have market orders. In order to execute a market order, come back to your order panel and toggle over from limit to market. A market order will execute immediately at the best available price. This will make you a market taker because you'll be removing liquidity from the order book versus adding to the order book by using a limit order. Because of this, you will pay a higher fee. Another thing to be aware of is what's known as slippage. We all know that cryptocurrency can get moving very quickly, whether that's to the upside or to the downside. When an asset begins to melt to the upside, the sell orders on the order book will be getting chewed up very quickly. If price begins to waterfall to the downside, the buy side of the order book will be getting gobbled up. Remember that a market order will execute at the best available price. So if price is moving quickly, you may not fill your order at the price you intended. And this could mean that you're opening a trade at a slight loss right out of the starting gate. So it's always good to be aware of slippage. Aside from that, entering a market order is nice and simple. Come back to your order panel and toggle from limit to market. Then choose the amount that you wish to enter the trade with. So we'll just go ahead and stick to our 100 contracts. Then simply choose if you're going to be a buyer or a seller. I'll just go ahead and open long. You'll get your confirmation window. If it checks out, click confirm. And as you can see, we've immediately entered that position. Now we can view our open position down below under the positions tab. You'll be able to see your unrealized P&L. And beside that, you'll be able to see your realized P&L. From here, if you'd like to add a take profit, stop loss, or both, you'd simply click the add button under TPSL. Bybit will give you the little pop-up window where you can enter in your take profit and stop loss. So for example, let's just imagine that we're targeting 30,000 on this position. We'd put that in like so. Right here, you can see that Bybit is calculating how much profit we would receive if price action was to reach our target. And down below, let's go ahead and put in a stop loss. And let's just imagine that we're managing risk, say somewhere down around 22,800. Down below, Bybit is calculating how much we'll lose if the trade goes against us and our risk management is triggered. If this all checks out for you, you'd simply hit confirm. Now we've added our take profit and our stop loss to the chart. If we come up to the chart, you can actually see your take profit in this little green box up here that we just added. And then down below is where you'll see your stop loss. It's very easy to amend things from here. Let's imagine that we wanted to move our take profit. Say we wanted to drag it down, maybe somewhere below this horizontal here. We just grab this little green box on the chart. We'd pull it down and say we want to put it right there. And as you can see, I've moved the take profit down and now that's been amended. So we'll be taking profit at 28,318. And the same goes for the stop loss. If I grab onto this, oops, I've got the horizontal there. So I'm just going to move that back, grab the little green box. Let's just say we wanted to move our risk management down here. So just like so, I've dragged it down. Now you can see the stop loss is set to 22,294. So pretty easy to amend things. If you want to cancel your take profit or your stop loss at any given point, you can just simply click the X inside this little box here. So here's our take profit. You can see that it says cancel order. Click the X, click confirm, and we've removed it from the chart. Same thing with the stop loss. We can click it and it's gone. And if you'd like to close the trade manually at any given point in time, you can come down to your open position. On the far right hand side here, you'll see where it says close by, and you can choose limit or market. So if you think the trade's going to go in your favor a little bit, you could always use the limit option. So if we give that a click, Bybit will give you a little bit of a pop-up window here. And let's just imagine that we're targeting 23,500. You just put that in like so. Remember to click the post only box here. This is going to make sure that you pay the smaller fee. And then you'd click on confirm. Now you can see we've added that take profit in this little red box here. Again, if you want to amend it, you can grab the box. You could drag it up maybe to that wick there if you choose. And if you want to cancel it, you can just simply click this little X inside that red box, click on confirm, and now we've removed that. And of course, you can exit with the market order. So if we come back down here, click on market, we'll get our little pop-up window here. You could exit half your position, 75%, or maybe you just want to get rid of all of it. And then you'd click on confirm. And as you can see, we've exited the entire position and is no longer viewable under positions. To find your trading fees, as well as more contract info, you can come up here to your navigation bar at the top and hover over contract info. And this drop-down menu is where you're going to find all the different contract rules, as well as fees for their derivatives. We're currently on USDT perpetual contracts, so we'll go ahead and just click on that. If you're looking for the fees specifically, you'd come over to this little menu here and just scroll it down slightly. And down here, you'd click on trading fee. Then come over here and click here. And here's where we can find the trading fees for their USDT perpetuals. At the time of recording, we can see that their taker fee rate is currently 0.06, so that's if you're going to be using market orders. And we can see that their current maker fee rate is 0.01%. And that's if you're going to be using limit orders with the post-only box checked. By the time you're watching this video, these fees could be slightly different. As an example, in the past, I have seen Bybit incentivize traders by literally paying them in the form of a rebate for executing their limit orders. And I do believe the rebate was 0.025%. So it's probably worthwhile to come over to the fees page here and have a look and see what your current fees are going to be. And there you have it, a brief introduction to trading derivatives using the Bybit exchange. For more tutorials, feel free to hit subscribe and check out my Bybit tutorial playlist on my channel. I'll also be adding more videos to that playlist in the future. Thanks so much for popping by and checking out this video. Looking forward to seeing the next one. And until I do, have yourself a powerful day.